Hello, blessed souls, welcome to Spiritual Connections. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt a shift in your mood, like a heavy cloud descended upon you? Maybe it was someone's frustration, anger, or negativity that seemed to stick to you, even when you were in a perfectly good mood. When we encounter someone with negative energy, it often feels like a heavy cloud descending upon us, shifting the atmosphere and unsettling our peace. It's a common experience, something almost everyone has felt at some point. Whether it's an impatient colleague, an overly critical friend, or a frustrated family member, their negativity seems to latch onto us, spreading through our thoughts and emotions like wildfire. But why does this happen? How can someone else's bad mood or frustration seep into our own inner world and disrupt our calm? Let's take a deeper look at this phenomenon. To truly understand it, we need to look inward because there's a powerful truth that we often overlook. Negativity can only take root in us if it resonates with something already within us. At first, this might seem perplexing. After all, when someone's negative energy affects us, we often feel blindsided, as if their mood came out of nowhere to ruin our day. But if we pause and dig deeper, we might realize that their negativity triggered something within us, a fear, an insecurity, or an unresolved emotion. It's not that we intentionally match their energy, but rather, their negativity awakens something in us that we may not even be fully aware of. Think about it. Have you ever had a day when you were feeling fine, and then suddenly, someone's negative comment or bad mood completely threw you off balance? In those moments, it's as if a hidden part of us, perhaps a subtle annoyance, a latent frustration, or a hidden sensitivity, was stirred. This realization can be both unsettling and enlightening. It reveals that our emotional responses are not just about the other person's behavior, but also about what's happening within us. Now, let's be honest. When we feel that negativity seeping in, our immediate response is often resistance. We push back either in our minds or outwardly. We feel a sense of injustice, an urge to defend ourselves, or even anger toward the person for disturbing our peace. But here's the thing, resistance doesn't solve the problem. In fact, it intensifies it. It's like being caught in a whirlpool. The more we struggle against it, the deeper we're pulled in. Consider this, when someone's bad mood ruffles us, what happens? Maybe a colleague snaps at you, or a loved one lashes out unexpectedly. Even if you were having a good day, their energy seems to stick with you, dragging you down. Because in that moment, something within you got triggered. It might be a sense of injustice or a need for control over your environment. These moments don't just reveal the other person's state of mind, they also highlight your own inner landscape. And recognizing this, though challenging, is immensely empowering. It means that your reaction is something within your control. This brings us to an important realization. We can choose how to respond to others' negativity. Instead of resisting it, we can allow it to pass over us without becoming entangled in it. Easier said than done, right? But this is where the concept of presence becomes essential. Presence means being fully aware and anchored in the moment without being swayed by the emotional turbulence around you. When you are present, you become like a calm, steady rock in the middle of a stormy sea. The waves of others' emotions may crash around you, but they cannot disturb your core. Cultivating presence is an ongoing practice, and it starts with mindfulness. It means being conscious not just of others' actions, but also of your own inner responses. For example, when someone's negativity arises, instead of reacting automatically with frustration or annoyance, you pause. In that pause, you have a choice. Do you allow their energy to pull you into their state of mind, or do you stay grounded in your own? By choosing the latter, you maintain control over your emotional state and refuse to be a mirror for their negativity. But let's go a step further. Why does presence work so effectively? It's not about ignoring others or detaching from the world around us. It's about being fully engaged while protecting our inner peace. When you are present, you can observe others' negative energy for what it is, a temporary state that doesn't define you. You realize that their frustration or anger is theirs to deal with, not something you need to fix or absorb. Now, this doesn't mean becoming indifferent or cold. On the contrary, presence allows you to develop compassion. When you approach others' negativity with compassion, you shift the entire dynamic. Instead of viewing them as an adversary or someone to defend against, you see them as a human being struggling with their own internal turmoil. This doesn't mean excusing poor behavior, but understanding that their negativity comes from a place of pain or confusion. By seeing them through this lens, you allow yourself to stay present rather than getting pulled into their emotional storm. Compassion becomes a powerful buffer, protecting you from the temptation to react in kind. That said, it's important to acknowledge that this isn't always easy. There will be times when someone's negativity is intense and your own emotional defenses are low. In those moments, it's natural to feel overwhelmed. But this is also where the practice of acceptance comes in. Acceptance is liberating. It means acknowledging that you cannot control others. You may wish they would change or that their mood wouldn't affect you, but clinging to that desire only creates further resistance. Instead, when you accept that people will sometimes bring negative energy into your space and that it's not your responsibility to change them, you free yourself from the burden of carrying their emotional weight. This acceptance doesn't mean passively enduring toxic behavior. On the contrary, it empowers you to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not about pushing people away or shutting them out, but about maintaining your own peace while allowing others to have their experience. You can be compassionate without being a sponge for their negativity. You can listen without absorbing. You can care without getting swept away. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It's a way of saying, my emotional well-being matters too. And interestingly, by not engaging with others' negativity, you often help dissipate it. Negative energy thrives on reaction. When someone is in a bad mood, they often unconsciously seek a response from others, whether it's a fight, validation, or sympathy. But when you don't feed into their energy, there's nothing for them to latch onto. This doesn't mean their negativity vanishes instantly, but without your participation, it loses momentum. In time, they may even come to see their own behavior more clearly because you haven't mirrored it back to them. There's a deeper lesson here. Dealing with others' negative energy is not about changing them, but about transforming yourself. When you focus on maintaining your own peace and presence, you stop being vulnerable to external emotional storms. You realize that your state of mind is your responsibility, no matter what is happening around you. This shift in perspective not only protects your emotional well-being, but also creates a ripple effect. When you maintain your calm in the face of negativity, you model a different way of being for others. You show them, consciously or unconsciously, that they, too, have the power to rise above their emotional reactivity. In this way, dealing with others' negative energy becomes an opportunity for growth, not just for you but for those around you. It's an invitation to practice patience, compassion, and inner strength. And while it's not always easy, the more you cultivate this practice, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you'll find that others' negativity affects you less and less. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. You've strengthened your emotional boundaries, deepened your presence, and embraced the understanding that your peace is yours to protect. As you continue on this journey, remember, it's okay to have moments when you feel overwhelmed or pulled in by others' energy. These moments are part of the process. What matters is that you keep coming back to your center again and again. With practice, you'll discover that the storm outside can't shake the calm within you.